At ease, it's your boy Soul Immortal. Man, first off, man, I want to thank all the people that have subscribed, liked, shared the video. But a special thanks out, man, to the people who have donated to the channel via PayPal, man. And I want to give a special shout out, man, to the brother Bobby Shasta that gave a large donation, man. I really appreciate that, man. I made a video a few days ago called Honor Amongst Thieves. And in the comment of that video, man, a brother by the name of Gold, Just Gold, asked this question. He says, yo, let me ask you a question. Are there any good women out there left? Now, I responded to the brother and told him that not only would I answer his question, but that I would make a video about it. Because see, one thing I noticed, man, I see a lot of guys, man, making comments about, hey, you know what? I like this MGTOW knowledge. I like this red pill information, but I think I'm still gonna, look for me a wife and get married. And you know what? That's cool. And a lot of these guys, man, are they're not really looking to get married, but they're looking to find, maybe one chick to have in their life, man. And a huge part of me, I can respect that, because I've never been part of the whole, pump and dump, you know what I mean? I've never been part of the whole, sex purge or none of that stuff, man. So a huge part of me, man, I can respect that, man. But the question is, does the virtuous woman that Proverbs speaks of, man, does she really exist? Let's talk about it. So, are there any good women? Now, normally when I see this question asked on YouTube, I see brothers taking one of two extremes. A lot of brothers take the red pill rage extreme and just come out and say, no, there are no good women. They're all worthless. And I see some brothers take the Derek Jackson approach saying, not all women are good. It's us men that are bad. But that's the easy way out, man. And that's the mindset of a man that lacks understanding. So let me give you my rendition. So men, I place all women in one of two categories. You got your 5%ers, which are your women that are worth time, or your good women. And then you got your 95%ers, which are the masses, right? So let's start with the 95%ers. So the 95%ers are broken down into three tiers, right? So you have your tier 3, right? Your tier 3 woman in this category. And these are your hookers. I call them the hookers. Now these are all you women on Backpage. These are your prostitutes. These are the strippers that take you in the back for a $20 lap dance, but you end up leaving with a happy ending. You know what I mean? So this is this category. Then you got your tier 2s, right? And I call this group your scavengers. Now this group consists of your gold diggers and your side chicks, your permanent side chicks. The women that they don't want a man, they just want your man so they can get all the benefits, the dinners, the dates, the gifts. But then you move to the tier 1. And the tier 1 consists of the larger majority of women, man. And I call this group your chameleons. Now, the reason I call these women chameleons because they're able to adapt to any situation. These women are able to look at a man, size him up, understand what kind of woman he wants in his life, and they can temporarily become that woman. Not only that, they're so high up the totem pole of the 95%ers, they can look across the water at the 5%ers and see how they walk, how they talk, how they act. And they can emulate these women. But the thing is, they can't sustain this. Now, once I realized, man, once I started separating women into the 5%, 95%, and I was still dating 95%ers, I started this test, man. Now, for the first 90 days, I don't believe anything a woman says or does. Whatever she does, she just does. I count it as her playing this role because all women are going to be on their best behavior when you first meet them. But by day 30, the large majority of these women, man, they're gonna drop off. They can't sustain it. And by day 60, pretty much the rest of them are gonna fall off. You're only gonna have very few women that can last that 90 days. But come day 90, even the best of the best, man, their shell is cracked, man. But this is the sad part, man. Look at your best friend. Look at your partners. Look at some of your cousins, man. Look at your neighbors. A lot of these men are married to 95%ers, man. And if you want to see what the mindset of a 95%er is like, I'm going to leave a few videos in the description box, man, of these two women's pages, man. And at least 3 to 4 times a year, I make it a point to go to these women's pages, man, and just watch a couple of their posts, man. And you'll be amazed, man. But you'll get a true understanding on how these women think, man. So check that out. Now let's talk about your 5%ers. And the thing is, first off, I want you to be able to understand how rare these women are, man. So picture yourself in a room of 100 women. Only 5 of these women out of 100 are going to be considered, good women. And once you get these 5 women, man, you have to break it down a little bit further, right? So your 5 women, 1% of these women is going to belong to the Amish community. 1% of these women is going to belong to the Emoju tribe in Kenya, Africa. 1% is going to belong to your Mennonites. And then 1% is going to belong to your nuns. So in reality, man, there's only 1% of your everyday woman that's roaming the street, man, that's considered a good woman. I can remember, man, my very first girlfriend, man, 4th grade, Kashana Walton. Bad little chick, man. And I can think from Kashana all through middle school, the women I dated. I can think through high school. I can think, in my 30s, the women I dated, man. I can think, the women I've dated, since I've been in my 40s. And I can honestly say, man, that I've only crossed paths with 2 1%ers, man. And the first one, man, was a woman, man, that I used to work with a long time ago, man. And I used to call her Lee. That wasn't her name. That was just part of her middle name, man. I called her Lee. Now, this woman, man, she was older, man. Sexy. Like I said, she was an older woman, man, but she had the body, man, of a young woman, man. She was killing it. But just her demeanor, everything about this woman, man, was amazing, man. She was strictly just an amazing person. Now, the thing is, I didn't know she was a 1%er, man, till later in life, and I looked back on it and realized what she was, man. But what I want to focus on, man, is my second encounter with the 1%er. Now, the reason I want to focus more on this second young lady that I used to date is because it was more recent, man, and I can really remember some of the traits that she had. So I met this young lady, man, about 3 years ago. I was living in Dallas, and she was living in out by San Bernardino, California, right? So the whole first month and a half, man, that me and her were talking, it was all via Skype, text messaging and all that. And one day she says, hey, I'm going to fly out to Dallas, man, and, we can hang out. So she flies out to Dallas. I remember picking up from the airport, and I'm not sure what restaurant we went to. But see, there were 2 things that I noticed was a lot different about this woman on the very first date. So I remember we went to the restaurant, and I remember getting an appetizer. And I remember when the guy brought the appetizer out, he set it down in the middle of the table, and she reached over and got my plate and was making my plate, putting all this food on my plate, and she set it back in front of me. Then she grabbed her plate, made her plate, and set it back down. Now, for the first couple of seconds, man, I was almost violated, like she was in my space. I was like, what is she doing, And I was like, I never seen a woman do that, man. Not since like my aunt, since I was little, man. I'm like, women still, do that kind of stuff. And she didn't say one word. This was like normal. It wasn't even a discussion behind it. So I'm like, okay, that's how she operates, right? So another thing I noticed was this. So we're about an hour into the date, man. I think we're finished eating, man. We're just sipping on wine or something. Good time, having a good time. And I asked her, I said, where's your cell phone? She was like, oh, it's in my purse. And I'm like, you're not gonna, check it or whatever? And she was like, no, like, I'm with you. And I was like, oh, okay. Because up until that point, man, I had never dated a woman that wasn't on her cell phone during the date. She wasn't either texting friends or taking selfies or taking pictures of food or whatever. And I was like, that's different. I'm like, okay. Now, like I said earlier, man, the first 90 days of dating, everything that a woman does, I just say it's what she does. And I thought that this woman was just putting on a stellar performance, right? So I just said, it is what it is. You're like, surely this is just not how she is, right? So, the whole, I think she stayed for a few days, man. The whole weekend went good, man. We had a blast. And she goes back home. Now, about 2 or 3 weeks later, she moved to Dallas. She had some opportunities to come up, man, and she relocated. So at this point, me and this young lady, we were like 20 minutes apart, man. So we started spending more time together, man, and got into a relationship. And well past the 90 days, man, this woman still had these traits, and it got to the point where I realized, I'm like, this is just who she is. There were just certain things about her, man, that just stood out. The first thing I remember, man, is she was very modest. Now, I remember, like when we used to talk back when we were Skyping and all that stuff, man, I would see her, I would see full body pics, but she would always stay covered up, and the pictures she was seeing, man, she was very, very slender. And I just thought she was just a skinny chick, man. I say, well, at least, to me, she has a very pretty face. But once I met her, once she got here, I was like, dang, like this little chick got some curves, man. And then I remember like when we used to go out, now once we went out, we started going out together, certain events, man, she would dress a little sexy. But if she wasn't with me, man, she was covered. Or if we went somewhere to like a respectable place, she was hiding all that stuff, man. And I was like, that's odd, because most women that got like a little body on them, man, they try to flaunt it. Now if we were just like in my spot or her spot chilling, I mean, she was wearing nothing but like boy shorts and a bra. She was very, very open with that, man. But in public, she was very modest, man. And to me, that was crucial. That is like one of the sexiest things to me, man, a modest woman. Another thing I remember, man, she used to cater to me. And when I say cater to me, man, I really mean she used to cater to me, man. She would come over and, just, all out of the blue, she was like, are you hungry? She would cook a full course meal just on the whim like that. Anything I needed, man, it was like she was just like always there. Do you need me to go to the store? Do you need me to do this? And I was like, damn, I just wasn't used to it, man. I remember one time I said, hey, come over, man. It was the weekend. I'm like, come over. Let's hang out. Let's go downtown. Let's wild out for a night and have fun. And she comes over, man. And when she comes to the door, she comes through with bags, groceries, man. And she was just like, we've been out a lot, man. Let's just hang out. Let's just chill out. I'll cook you a meal and we'll just chill. And I was like, okay, like this is different, man. But like I say, man, she just catered to me, man. Another thing about this woman I remember, man, she was very thrifty. Another good quality, man. Now, when it comes to like, the Gucci, the Louis, the Prada, the Michael Kors, all that stuff, for some reason, this woman had zero interest in it. Zero interest in it. And it wasn't that she couldn't afford it, because she could afford it. She just didn't have the will to get this stuff, right? And when she would come over, man, and we would go out, she'd have like a little new outfit on. I would say, hey, that's a cute outfit. Like, you looking sexy. And she'd be like, you like this? And then she would say, like, I got this shirt at the thrift store for like $3. And I got these jeans for like, $6 at the so-and-so. And I got these shoes for like $7. I don't think I ever saw her in an outfit that cost more than $20. And she would be killing it. But in her mindset, you know, the women that went out and spent all this money on this high brand, that never made sense to her. Never made sense to her, man. And I was like, this woman is just like a thrifty woman. Not cheap, just thrifty. I remember she, even when she went and bought a car, man, she was looking for a new vehicle. And instead of going out and buying some, you know, some big flashy car that she didn't need, man, she just went and bought some practical vehicle, man, just what she needed. And I was like, this woman really is just like a thrifty, like cost savings woman. And that is a huge trait, guys. Many times we get with these women, man, they have to have all this stuff, man, and that's what keeps a man from growing. You get with these women, man, and they will keep you down forever, man. I also remember, man, she was very fun to be with. Now me, man, I'm introverted, man, to the 10th power. 9 times out of 10, I don't like doing anything with anybody. I don't like being around too many people. You know, when I you know, I love to go hiking, man. When I go hiking, I go solo. You know, when I went out to the Grand Canyon, when I went out to the Aztec Caves in El Paso, solo. When I go to car shows, I go solo. When I go to, when I take my vacations, man, when I go to Africa, when I went to Dubai, I went by myself. And it's because, for one, it's because I don't mess with a lot of guys. And for two, when you take a woman on some of these places, man, all you hear is bickering. All you hear is bickering, man. And I remember the first time I said, hey, you know, I'm going hiking. She was like, I want to go. And I was like, okay. And dude, we had a blast, man. It wasn't no complaining. She was soldier right there, man. Had a blast, dude. I remember we went to the gun range, man. I went and shot the big 308, man. And she was right there shooting, I think she might have been shooting the M4, man. So had a blast with this woman, man. Was never no complaining. I remember going to the Dallas car show, you know, and I go to the Dallas car show every year, man. And I just knew that I was going to hear a lot of, oh, we're still here, we're still walking, and why we got to go see the Lamborghini again, or something like that, man. But the whole time, dude, she was into it, man. We're popping hoods, looking at engines, man. We're sitting in cars. And I was like, you know what, man? This lady, you know, she's fun to be with, man. Now, one of the things that stood out that I rarely see in women of today, man, she was very giving, right? So on my birthday, I remember on my birthday, man, this woman came and picked me up, right? And she took me to the beach down in Galveston, man. So we spent I think maybe a day and a half, 2 days down on the beach in Galveston, man, you know, having fun on the pier and eating restaurants, man, you know, drinks, you know, just kind of living it up. Good time. Then she took me to Houston. We stayed downtown Houston, man. She got the big presidential suite, man. You know, we had a blast up there, man. And then she took me to a concert. Now, I love listening to some good Jill Scott music, man. So she took me to the Jill Scott concert, man. Front row, VIP. I mean, I'm sitting right there, man. Dead center, man. Right there with Jill, man. I'm sitting there taking photobomb pics with Brandy. I'm sitting there singing on the mic with Belle Biv DeVoe, man. Had a blast, man. And in my mind, when all this was over, I was like, never in my life have I had a woman that did something like that for like my birthday, man. So she was very giving. Now, these are 2 traits, man, about this woman that stood out, that were the most memorable, man. 2 traits. This woman, 1, was very feminine, and 2, she was very submissive. Now, let me break that down, man. When I say she was very feminine, this is what I mean. Like the women of today, man, they're so caught up in this independent bad bee lifestyle, man, that a lot of times it's almost like dating another guy, right? And so she was just very into being a woman, man. And I remember she could be fully clothed, man, and walk in a room and just instantly turn you on. I don't know what it was. She just had that femininity down to a pack. So that was one quality I remember standing out. And the fact that she was submissive was huge. Now, that trait, man, for the longest time, I didn't even know what to call it because I'd never seen a trait like that. But she was very submissive. Now, one thing about a woman being submissive, most women look at that quality as being a negative or a weakness. But what they don't realize is that it's a strength. You know, because what I didn't realize before, man, is that when you get in these relationships with these women that want to be so strong, man, there's like an internal battle going on, man. It's almost like playing a football game and you have two quarterbacks on the field at the same time. It's like, you know, who's in charge? Who's running the show? With this woman, man, her demeanor was like, now she wasn't a weak woman by no means. She was a very strong-willed. But her demeanor, the whole time you were with her was like, you know what? You're the man. You're running the show. You know, whatever you say goes, and I'm with it. Like, you're the man. And it just took me a long time to pinpoint what that trait was, man. But she was very submissive. Now, out of all this stuff, man, that I talked about, when I think back about this woman, I can't ever remember her asking me for anything. Now, you know, when we go out to dates, man, you know, I would take her out. We would have fun, man. We would do nice things. But as far as this woman just asking me for something, man, she never asked me for anything. And that's the thing, man. You know, we always talk about, you know, these women, man, and we're not going to spend money on these women and do all this stuff. And we shouldn't. And the reason is because most of these women, you know, instead of, you know, you taking these women out, man, they want you to do all this stuff. But these women, they aren't giving anything back. See, the problem is we're giving these 95%ers the treatment of the 1%ers. See, deep down, man, a man really doesn't mind taking a woman on a nice date or taking her on nice, you know, trips or whatever the case may be. But the women that we're dealing with nowadays, man, they aren't giving anything back. So it leaves us empty, man. Empty pockets and empty everything else, man. But when you get a woman, man, that's constantly giving you, constantly cooking, constantly doing for you, brother, it's nothing to want to give this woman something, man. So that's the thing with that, man. Now, at the end of the day, man, a woman is still a woman. Just because she's considered a good woman, that doesn't mean she's immune to the same things that all other women are subject to, man. So she's still a woman at the end of the day. But one thing I noticed about these particular women, man, there's one trait that stands out. There's one trait that these women have that the 95%ers don't have. And that one trait, that one element is that she's content. You know, think about it. Think about hypergamy, man. You know, think about the average woman, man, who always just, you know, you just need this, you need that, she need, you know, that in my mind is the deciding factor between these women, or the deciding element, man. These women are very content. You know, so if you want a good woman, man, one of the first things you need to look for, man, is a woman that's not always having to get to the next thing, having to have the next biggest bag, man, the next biggest car, you know, having to have just the next biggest thing, man. Once you find a woman, man, that is just content with life, it's a possibility, man, you found you a good one, man. Now, this is what I've been telling you guys, man, since my very first video, I believe. Women aren't to be pursued. At no point in time should your focus be to go out and pursue women. Women are to be attracted. I mean, it says it in the Bible, man. Proverbs 31:3. Do not spend your strength on women or your vigor on those who ruin kings. These 95% of women, man, these women have to be pursued. These women take you out of your element, man. At no point in time should a man's focus go from focusing on his goals, focusing on bettering himself, to focusing on women. At no point in time should that happen. Now think about, you know, they refer to finding a good woman, man, as finding a needle in a haystack, right? So let's say you're literally, you know, looking for a needle in a haystack, or needles in a haystack. Do you get on your knees, man, and start sifting through there, man, trying to find that needle? Or do you go get the largest magnet you can and hover over that haystack and let those needles find you? That's the smartest way to do it, man. In other words, you have to become a magnet, man. And the thing is, these women aren't for everyone. These women are only for men of understanding, guys. Just think, it's only 1%. It's only 1%. These women aren't for everybody. The guys that's going out there hunting women, these pumping up guys, they'll never encounter these women. These women operate, they function on a different frequency, man. And I've been trying to tell you guys that. You know, in a nutshell, a man of understanding, again, knows he's not supposed to ever take his mind off of his goals. Never. He becomes a magnet, and these women are drawn to him. And then the one he wants is chosen, and then they go forward. So here's the ugly truth, man. This is where we as men, myself included, lacked an understanding, man. It doesn't matter if she's a 5%er. It doesn't matter if she's a 95%er. There's one trait about a woman that'll never go away. A good woman, a woman that ain't no good, it doesn't matter. There's one trait in every single woman that is not going away. And that's the fact that a woman will always want a provider in a man. Now, we make videos, and I'm sure I made some videos, man, where we talk about, you know, not doing this kind of stuff for a woman, man, and not taking them out on dates and all that stuff. And the stuff that we're saying is right, because we're referring to a certain group of women. But man, if you ever find you a woman, man, that's always giving, man, a woman that's always trying to cook meals for you, a woman that's trying to do things in your life, a woman that, you know, when you leave the house, man, you come back and the house is clean, clothes are folded, man, a dinner is made. When you meet this kind of woman, man, a man doesn't mind being a man and holding her down. Like the woman I spoke about, man, the woman that I used to date. Now, like I said before, man, she never asked me for a thing. But the fact that I had my stuff together, I'm sure had played a major part on this woman interacting with me, man. I'm sure that the fact that if she needed something major, or if she needed something, that I was in a position that I could take care of that, man. You know, so that's one thing, man, that it's across the board. A woman is going to want a man that has his stuff together, that can hold her down. There's no way around it. There's no way around it. And think about it like this. Think about it like, you know, us as men. If a man walks in a room with 100 women, just a variety of all kind of women, shapes, colors, sizes, whatever, and you walk in, man, and you're a man, you have your stuff together, man, you're successful, man, you're healthy, life is good, and you walk in, and the most unattractive woman in the room comes up and says, "Hi, my name is whatever," and she wants to get with you. But you see all these other badass women, fine women. Now, are you gonna want to get with that woman? The answer is no, because you know you feel like you have your stuff together, man. You're gonna want a bad woman, because us men, we're made different. You know, we're made. You know, when we are in a relationship, we want something that's attractive. We want something that's fine, something that's sexy. And it's the same thing with women, man. They want something that's gonna be a provider. So you know, that's just the way the world is, man. There's no way around that. But like I said, man, the thing is, we're entertaining the wrong women, because the stuff that we're saying is right, man. It's like, you know, I'm not dealing with these women. I'm not taking these women out. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. Because these women don't deserve it, man. The women of today, man, the women of today have this mindset. I want you to do all this stuff for me. I want all this stuff. I want you to cater to me. I want you to do all this stuff. And they have absolutely nothing to give back. They're sorry. They're lazy. They don't clean. They don't want to do nothing for their man. And in their minds, sex is the equalizer. And when you meet these women, guys, kick them to the curb. Be done with them. In my opinion, man, a man shouldn't entertain a woman unless he assumes she's a 1%er. And once she proves, if she proves that she's not, you should be done with her, man. Don't even entertain these women, man. It just ain't worth it. So, to the brother that asked the question, are there any good women left? The answer is yes. But the one thing you need to remember, man, is that you should never focus on these women. Focus on going forward. Focus on your dreams. Focus on your goals, and these women will be attracted to you. Never pursue them. These women will be attracted to you. So I hope that answers your question, man. It's your boy Soul Immortal, and I'm out.